Hello and welcome back to JJ Painting. I am JJ and welcome back to Challenge 99 Video 4. So, the story so far. We're doing a battle company for £100. We got that company and we've unboxed it, so the whole thing now looks like this, which is kind of cool. And then the most second video, we stripped all the old paint off all the old models, making it go from that to this. In the last video, we had a look at the colour scheme itself, and we've narrowed it down to what it's going to be, whether on a dark background or a light background, and the test model looks like this. Cool. So the next step, obviously, is to build this company and spray it all up in that Wraithbone-y colour. So the reason I'm doing this video is firstly so you guys at home know I'm not cheating, and I'm actually keeping to the rules of the challenge, but also so that you guys can see the process behind it, because obviously we've seen everything so far from the unboxing to stripping the old models off, and now it's the bit where we literally start rebuilding all those models which fell apart, we broke apart, to strip the paint off. And as you know, we're going to do this in 2 videos, so this is part 1 of building the company. So today we're going to be doing the 2 lieutenants, the 3 of the tactical squads, 1 of the assault squads, and 1 of the devastator squads, and then in the next video we'll be doing the same thing, but with the command squad as well. Okay, cool. Now that we're on the same page, let's crack on. So here they are. This is our demi company, the first half of our Howling Griffins company. If you look at the back, you might recognize the 2 test models we got there. I'm going to keep them as they are because I really can't be asked to strip them back off again. And I think they look okay. They'll blend into the company in good time anyway. So let's have a look at some of these squads and what work I will have to do to them as we go. Alright, so here's our first tactical squad. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of work to do here. We've got one of the older metal sergeants just here. We've got a multi-melter over here for them as well, and this guy's got a melter gun. So this is a classic melter squad. That's one for the OGs amongst you. So what we're going to be doing now is obviously building them up, and we're going to show you what they look like in the end. So they went from obviously this. So here we are with the first tactical squad all built. Let's have a little look at them. So what I'll say now is all of the bolt guns on this squad have been just placed on there. I've not glued them in place just yet because I want to paint the chest eagles, and putting the bolt guns in there stops that. The heavy weapons you'll be seeing are also not glued on. I've put them on there with blue tack for now, just so you can get a sense of what they look like. But this guy's my favourite at the moment, this little metal sergeant. He's always been a bit of a fun one. We'll zoom in there. Oh man, isn't he great? Cool model, very old model, but he's nice. So yeah, that is tactical squad number 1. All built and looking good, I think. So this is going to be a really straightforward one here, there's no point dwelling. They arrived as one piece, they survived the drink process, all from the same squad. The only difference is another power sword that I've brought out to give to them instead of the chainsword he already had. So that's literally all there's going to be, so I'm going to not dwell on them. I'm just going to glue those guys back onto their bases, and we will move on from there. There they are. They looked fine before, I think. I didn't feel like I needed to do this. All I've done is I've stuck the sergeant's power sword arm on, and I've put those 2 on bases now. I lost their actual bases. I think they might be somewhere else in one of the other squads, but I thought I'd just give them new ones. So they're built and ready to be sprayed, looking pretty good. They look good before, they look good now. Everyone's happy. So, tactical squad number 2, Electric Boogaloo. So we got another multi-melter here, we got another classic metal sergeant with a pair of lightning claws, and a plasma gun right up here at the back. So again, lots of models in various states. So the good thing about all of this stuff at the moment is that it's very easy to start reassembling. This guy here is obviously a sergeant of some kind, but he's going to be returned to the ranks, for want of a better word. So I've got his bolt gun arms here, so that's just a straight swap, as per the rules, and there's a few other of these here and there. So again, they've gone from looking like this, so to this. Here we are, the second tactical squad all built up. The multi-melter and lightning claws are there, I'm proud to see. And the sergeant looks a lot better now that he's standing up and got his arms attached. I've always liked this model. I know there are now other plastic lightning claws out there which do look pretty good, but I still think there's something quite special about this model here. He was the OG, he looks good. But now, we must move on. Here they are. The Devastator Heavy Support Squad. As you can see, there's quite a few bits here that have come off, and you again remember these 2 here from the test models video, so they're going to stay as they are for a little while, and we'll focus on these guys. Again, I'm quite glad most of the heavy weapons stayed on. I need to glue a couple of guys back onto bases, as you can see from the back. And then obviously we've got one of the rocket launchers we picked up from online, just down there on the bottom right. And from Rob, if you can see those two dark arms at the front, those came from one of his assault marines. I've swapped them for something else the assault marine is going to have from something else, and that's going to be our sergeant. Finally, Devastator Squad, our first Devastator Squad, a classic all rockets Devastator Squad. Very, very happy with that. And again, those two test models at the back there who will be staying as part of the company as they are. Sergeant's not looking too bad. I have to admit that since the Signum came out with a big backpack with a flashlight looking thing in the newer Devastator Squads, it's always made me want them, but there wasn't one with anything I bought, sadly. So our Devastator Sergeant will be going without, but that's okay, you know, I can live with that. That's fine. I hope you can forgive me for that too. But other than that, everything's looking good. Here we are, the third and final tactical squad of this here demi company. So unlike the other two, we've got a plasma cannon just down there on the bottom right, which should be quite fun a bit later on. And he's got a plasma gun over here. So this is a proper old school plasma squad. We've got a melter squad, and we've got a plasma squad. What a lot of fun. The back line doesn't need quite as much work done because most of those guys survived the drink process, as it were. And then, of course, we've got our sergeant at the front there. He's got a chainsword currently, which will be coming off because I found this power sword at the bottom of one of the bags, I think from Rob or Witchfire. I can't really remember which one. And then, of course, we've got his other hand there, which is going to be a bolt pistol hand, but I'm swapping that for a bolt gun. And that arm there with the bolt pistol on it, I am going to be taking that out of my allowance. That will be going out of the one Space Marine I can have. So I've used one arm so far, and I'm quite proud of myself. I've been able to keep it to one component for this whole demi company, which I think is quite good. But obviously they look like this, and they're going to end up looking like this. Here we go, that plasma cannon there, and the sergeant looking pretty hot with his power sword there. I think he's the only sergeant who's not wearing a helmet. Actually, no wait, no he's not. There are other sergeants wearing helmets. I completely forgot the models I literally just built. Plasma guns at the back there, so we've got a classic plasma gun squad, and looking pretty good. Quite happy with them, can't wait to paint them either. So here they are, our two lieutenants, as they're going to be. So as you can see, there's quite a bit here on this one who's already been done. All he needs is a pair of shoulder pads. And then we've got this lieutenant here, who needs basically everything. One thing I should have said before I got into this bit is that I can do swaps, like for like swaps. So I can swap things like heads, I can swap things like heads, legs, arms, for things in my bits box. They can be like for like, and they can also be downgrades. So I can swap this power sword for another power sword. I can swap this combi bolt gun for another bolt gun. I could swap a head for a head, that sort of stuff. For this lieutenant, I don't have to do a huge amount, thankfully. But what I am going to do is probably reposition his arms, because I quite like this pose, but I just think it looks a little bit silly. So I'm just going to bring the arm down to a slightly more sensible angle. Going to give him a pair of shoulder pads out of the bag of bits that we've got, and that's probably it. I'm going to keep the head. And for this guy, as you can see, we need a little bit of everything, effectively. But what I am going to give him, sorry, it's plastic, dropping him all over the place. I'm going to give him this arm, which came in the bag of bits that I got hold of. I'm not entirely sure if this was from Rob or from the Bits Company, but it was in one of the bags. And I'm also going to give him this head, which was originally for the command squad, but I think it's going to look quite nice on one of the lieutenants. It's a bit more distinctive. So, and there'll be other bits and pieces from out the bags that I'll give him. So we're going to have a little build now. So what we need now is a little bit of movie magic. There we go. There's our two lieutenants nice and built. And for the eagle-eyed viewers amongst you, you might be able to see the one on the right. I did change his head, because when I was building him, I had the great idea of trying to adjust where he was looking. I ended up completely breaking the head, so I had to replace it, but I made the arms at a slightly less ridiculous angle, so he looks a bit more serious now, or as serious as a Space Marine can do. You'll see the rest of the army behind them as well. So on the left, we've got our other lieutenant here with his mastercrafted bolt gun and chainsword. Looking pretty good. Can't wait to paint these two. So there we have it. The first half of the battle company is fully built, the demi company as it is, and it was good, to be honest with you. I had quite a bit of fun building the lieutenants. They were quite a nice little thing to do because they were a bit more personalised. There were some of the squads were easier to do than others because obviously most of it was already built. There wasn't as much building as if I was buying this all new on sprue, which I suppose is kind of an advantage of getting a second hand. The metal models were okay, to be honest with you. I didn't have to pin any of them because I got some very strong super glue, so they should hopefully touch wood. My desk is made of wood. Hopefully they will stay together and that should be fine going forward. So I've sprayed everything now and I'm going to leave you with some pictures which will be rolling around about now, I think, of the whole company in its Wraithbone colour. But I really do hope you enjoyed watching this and you enjoyed seeing the progress on the Demi company as it continues. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe below. I will look forward to seeing you next time. And that is all. So wherever you are, goodbye and have a lovely day.